In this experiment, we'll be determining the Hall coefficient of a germanium sample using the Hall effect. Okay, let me first introduce the instruments whatever we have here briefly. So this is a digital Gauss meter, right? So it will help you measure the magnetic field, and it comes with a probe, right, which looks like this, right? So this is to be inserted in between the electromagnets. This here is the electromagnet. So what we need to do is, in between the gap, right, in between these two gaps, in between the poles of the magnet, we need to insert it, right, and then the value of the magnetic field produced will be shown here, right, in this particular display in Gauss, right. So you have, like, depending on the range, you have multiplied by 10 and then just 1. Okay, fine. Now this is the and also here you see that N is written, so this will be pointing towards the north pole of the magnet. Okay, now this is the constant current power supply, right, and this is going to supply current to the electromagnet, and the magnetic field is going to be produced, which is going to be measured by this Gauss meter. And now this here is the Hall effect setup. So this particular instrument we have, see, we have here offset adjust. This knob is for offset adjusting, and this is for current adjustment. This one is for current adjustment, and then these two are meant for probes. I'll tell you in a while. So this is for current part and this is for the voltage one. And then in the display you can see both the voltage reading, right, in millivolts, and the current reading in milliamperes. Okay, now let me come to the Hall probe. The Hall probe looks like this, right. So this particular one here, the small rectangular thin thing here, this one is the sample, right. So it is a germanium sample, and it comes, see here, you see 4 screws here. So accordingly they are connected to 4 wires, right, and then we have to insert these probes, and in a proper way, in the current knobs and the voltage knobs. We will first calibrate our instrument. So for that we will not make use of the Hall probe. So in principle we have 4 setups, right, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So but in the first table, right, we are trying to fill in the first observation. So which is, we have basically in this experiment we have 3 tables. So for the first table we need a calibration. So for that we will just make use of these 3 instruments, right, the electromagnet, the power supply, the current power supply to the electromagnet, and the Gauss meter. So for that what we will do is, we will first use this probe from the Gauss meter.